It's good. It's good.
I want to be invited back.
Alexa, unpause the song. Let me see. There you go.
What we do? What we do?
You ready?
Who run the world? Who run the world?
It's noon. It's Monday. Wait, don't make me break down. Wait. You gotta get it. You gotta pop it.
Some of them men think that this like we do,
do.
but no, they don't. Make your check.
Stop music. How many of y'all got Alexa at home? Because y'all know Alexa is hard-headed. All right? We are doing it different today, y'all. So first of all, if you're here, hello, and please comment and let me know that you can hear us okay, because we are trying something that we have never done before. So do me a favor, and in the comments, please let me know that you can hear our audio okay.
You have anybody watching?
Yes, we do.
Hi.
A few
Hi,
people.
friends.
All right. Hi. Hello. Just let us know.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? And we're going to wait to make sure you can hear us before we keep going. So I can, I know somebody's there because I can see.
It's noon. People are multitasking, trying to get their lunch. They're trying to, you know what I'm saying? So they feel us. They're going to tell us in a minute that they hear us. Because you do hear us, right? Because I'm pretty loud. Now don't get me start singing.
Okay,
They're not talking back to us. Do you know how to put something in the chat?
Just
comment. Just put a thumbs up, a heart, somebody.
Well, we're going to do the best we can.
We're going to do
what
this.
I'm going to do?
What you going to do?
I'm going to go on here myself.
Oh, that was smart.
And I'm going to see.
You're going to see yourself.
Because this is the first time that we have been in person. Make it happen Monday.
I am helping you pop that cherry. That make it happen cherry. Oh, I am a virgin on the make it happen. You hear it. See, that's what the good technology would do.
You gotta get it. So, welcome to Make It Happen Mondays, where we take a little bit of time out of our busy lives so we can be informed, inspired, and make it happen for the rest of the week. I am your host, Monique, and this is my guest, LaToya Smith.
Yes.
I wish y'all could be here because you can feel the energy. You're going to have a good time today. But if you do not know me, I'm the founder of Monique Inc., which is a consulting and coaching agency, and also the visionary and founder of She's Rising, which is a signature series of coaching services, online tools, and events that help Black women leaders break through and rise. So this whole signature series, this framework takes you from feeling fear, uncertainty, feeling those feelings of exhaustion and overwhelm, all the way to showing up as your best self unapologetically, living a life that you do not feel you need to escape from, okay? Oh, Wildnet. Hey, Wildnet.
Hey.
Right. So I am excited as a part of that work again. I started Make It Happen Mondays because Mondays be hard. Mondays be hard sometimes, unless you came from a Women Creating Wealth and Impact Conference.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Tell me about that later.
I came from this weekend. So I started my Monday.
Okay.
Ready.
You on fire. No wonder I'm over here hot. Yeah. I'm over here sweating. I was like, it's cool in here, but it's hot. I feel it now. I see.
But I am so excited because I started Make It Happen Mondays during the pandemic. Sometimes I'll come on every single week. The format has changed. Other times it's kind of, I didn't have time. I got a little real busy. But this is the first time because I started the pandemic that we are here in person.
I am privileged.
You are. You better know it.
I better know
God's
it.
favorite.
I better know it.
So you guys come in. Also, please, we are about to have a dynamic conversation because we as Black women do not always give ourselves permission to live and have and experience pleasure. Now, what kind of pleasure we talking about?
What kind of pleasure? Like the way you said it. Wait a minute now. I was told this was PG-13 on a Monday at noon.
But what's the one with the TV? MA. So we're not gonna go R, but
No,
mature
yeah, right,
audience,
mature
like
audience,
the 13
yeah.
plus. So we're gonna go a little bit above PG. We're above PG.
Okay, fine, just a
Okay,
little bit.
Okay.
Now, if this was Make It Happen after 6 p.m., listen, it's gonna be all off the hook.
Watch it after 6 p.m. though.
That's true. However,
we on LinkedIn. So
we on LinkedIn. We gonna be good out here.
All right, so y'all make sure y'all say hi. We are away from the camera, if you can see, and don't tell nobody, but I can't see real far away. So I'm gonna try my very best to read. If I come in close, don't judge me.
Oh, hey Amber.
Hey Amber. Hey girl. Share this link on your page. Send it to your friend. Hey, y'all, jump on here so they can get some of this good stuff too. But let me tell you about my guest. My soror. But I liked her before she was my soror. And then when I found out she was my soror, I was like, that makes sense.
You're our best.
Delta girls. LaToya Smith. Listen to all these letters that come after her name. MBAPHRSHRM-CP.
Don't even know what none of that means. But anyway, mm-hmm.
But LaToya is the vice president, talent acquisition manager at Fifth Third. And so she has, I'm going to read her bio. She has been at Fifth Third for 24 years.
As of last week, yes.
A valuable team member of Fifth Third. She is responsible for attracting, acquiring, and advancing top diverse talent through her leadership of a dynamic team of talent acquisition consultants for the Bancorp. So she is actively involved in community with multiple organizations, the United Black Fund of Greater Cleveland, Bessie's Angels, Cleveland State University Alumni Association, DNA Rising in Cuyahoga County Workforce. She is a true philanthropist and is a founding member of a giving circle, Our Hope, Our Future. So she has been recognized by numerous people, Kaleidoscope Magazine, 40/40 Club. Hey, I was in the 44 Club too, but I just thought because I turned 40, I was automatically in the 40/40 Club. But it's that's another club too. Okay, I didn't get recognized for being in it. I recognize myself. Cleveland Bridge Builders, Women of Color Foundation, Stephanie Tubbs Jones Courage Award, CSU Link Distinguished Alumni, the Girl Scouts of Northeast Ohio, Women of Distinction, NAACP Unsung Hero Community Award, Ohio Diversity Council of 2022 Woman of the Year, and Cranes 2022 HR Employee Advocacy Public Award. Need I say more?
I told you not to read it.
She told me not to read it. She over here comfortable. But she also is an executive coach, which is where we got really connected and we both got certified as coaches. And she is the founder of Eros Heart Coaching. Represent
your clique.
She is a diehard Clevelander, and she has a spouse with 2 children. She has 2 children as well. So welcome to Make It Happen Monday.
Thank you.
All right. So I know you do all the things at Fifth Third, but that's not why we have you here.
That's not, because guess what? I am on vacation, hence the reason why I am dressed out and you looking so cute. So I said either I was going to wear my purple unapologetic t-shirt or my own brand. I said I'm going to brand myself.
Brand yourself. You might as well. You on YouTube. We're going to make this thing go viral.
Okay, let's go.
It may take some years, but
hey, listen, somebody, grandkid, like I know that crazy lady with the purple lashes. Yes.
I love the purple too. Okay, so we're going to start there. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what to tell us, but tell us something fun and quirky about yourself that most people don't know.
Oh gosh. So, I'm pretty much an open book. So I share a lot, probably maybe too much that people don't want to know. So when I think about it, I would say number one, oh gosh, this is weird. There was one interesting thing. So when I was younger, I think 7 or 8, my mom would have her friends over, excuse me, they would have get-togethers. And so she know I like to clean. So she would ask me to go pick up everybody's glasses to put them in the sink. Okay. What she didn't know, as I was walking down the hall, this is pretty gross, all the leftover little bit of liquid with ice, or whatever beer was in the can, I drank it on the way to the hallway. On down the hallway, I would drink the little bit of liquor. She ain't know until I got back and she'd be playing music, and then I got to dancing, dropping it like it's hot, and then all her friends like, I can't even get my kids to dance because they ain't drinking like me. And honey, that's when the dollars used to come. I said, where the dollars at? Where the dollars at? So that's
You
that
was
you think
dancing
about.
for
I was
dollars.
dancing for dollars. Didn't even know what I was doing, but I wish I could do it again right now. And that's so gross, right?
We are not ready for this conversation.
And it's so funny because my mother said you don't drink after people because people have germs. But honey, but I was like, alcohol can only kill germs. Drink up, baby. Oh boy, she used to like, how could she just dance at the drop? You just don't know. I would tip. I would dance for the dollars, baby. See, I knew what pleasure was then and didn't even know. Now that's pleasure, right? I was.
Listen, so we know, anybody that knows that your brain don't start. I know we ain't gonna get through that.
We ain't gonna get through that.
We all know that your brand and your colors, you purple. I don't know if they can see from the screen. Her shirt is purple.
Can you see it in the light?
Her
My hair
lashes are purple. Her hair is purple.
Cover up the grays.
Where did this purple? Where did this love for purple come from?
You know, it's right. You know, it's interesting because I think it came when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
My mom loved purple, and she used to wear a lot of African garments with purple in it, and I knew that purple meant royalty. It meant power, and so I started adapting the color over the years, and so pretty much. My mom kind of started that off with those purple garbs, whatever, even though she loved red. So do I. We love the reds, don't we? But anyway, I just fell in love with the color. And I think it looked good on me.
It does look good, but you know, that takes a lot of courage. Like you're in corporate, you're in the bank, you're in Fifth Third.
Yeah.
How you walking to Fifth Third with purple lashes? We think we can't do that. Like we always like, we can't do that. They wouldn't accept that. I was talking to somebody the other day, was like, I couldn't wear my head wrap. I said, why not?
Yeah. So, you're absolutely right. So in all honesty, been at the bank 24 years, right? And I think when I got to year, I would say 16, 18, I felt like that was a turning point for me. I believe, and I was in my 40s. I think it was a turning point for me to say, accept me for who I am. I am going to do my best to bring almost 100% to work. Can't bring 100% because I'm a little extra, as y'all can see. So a little percentage can't come to the workplace. But when I got to a point where I said, you know what, if my work product doesn't speak for itself, you're going to judge me for my lashes. And so I would tell you, my beautician, love her dearly. I've always put some form of tint in my hair or some kind of color. So when I told her I wanted purple, she said, ma'am, you work for a bank and you're in HR. I said, I know. She said, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to make it dark so that it just looks like it's black, but you can only see the highlights in the light. And so over the years, I got a little brighter and brighter. She said, you're just getting a little bold and bold, aren't you? And I said, yeah. And then I, some years ago, about 3 years ago or so, I started wearing lashes. Let me tell you, ladies, that's a budget you don't want to add. You don't want to add that expense in your budget. Don't.
I was like,
no, thank you. I accidentally hit grand total on my Cash App, and I said, my God, I am making somebody rich.
They told me, I was like, okay, if I did it, but they told me that I had to keep doing it, like every 2 weeks or something.
It's addictive. Because you like how it looks.
You gotta feel it. They said you gotta feel it like every 2 weeks.
Yeah, so some people come every week. I go every 2 weeks. But anyway, so when I saw that the young lady had an array of colors, I said, you got purple lashes? She was like, yes, and no one ever used them. I said, they're going to be used today. She said, now you do, don't you work at a bank? I do. Let's go with it. And then she said, well, let me blend it with some black. And then give me whatever reactions you get, and then we'll go back from there. We'll go from there. Yeah. And I got more compliments than and so I just said, I wore it, and I said, don't put no black in here, honey. Just keep on with the purple.
I'm listening to you.
I know. So you can be able to read with this. So I went with it.
In here so I can see y'all.
Yeah, because my eyes are not that great either. Right. Hey, Stephanie, I see you, baby. Bless your heart. That's my designer at Nadir Collection. So along with the lashes, I have my own artistic way of doing things. And so when I get inspired about how I want to look, I call Stephanie. And I said, hey, and I call her at the last minute too. I like, hey, I'm going somewhere next week. What you got in your basement? Or I'm thinking this, and she will create it for me just like that. And I'm just, gotta turn the volume down.
Oh, that didn't work. Sorry, y'all.
That's okay. So I was just so excited that I can call somebody. And when you're living in pleasure, you don't have to conform to what's out there. Like we're in an office near the mall, right?
Yeah.
I can't go in the mall honestly and find something that I think would look good on my body type.
Yeah.
So for me, I love being able to call my designer and say, I want this look, I want this color, because I got broad shoulders, my breasts are big, and my legs are this, and cover up my stomach. You know what I'm saying, right? So I'm appreciative that I have someone like that, and she also mentors my daughter, who is also her protege and into fashion and a designer, and so I'm so grateful, to have her in my life. So when you think about pleasure, who's also in your pleasure circle, right?
So let's talk about pleasure, because we said permission for pleasure.
We did say permission for pleasure, yeah.
So what is pleasure? What do you teach? What do you encourage for Black women when you say pleasure?
Yeah. So, let's talk about that. So, we went in the bathroom real quick, right? And you was telling your co-mate, hey, we're going to be talking about pleasure. She was like, yeah. Ooh. And so I would say, when you're thinking about pleasure, I want people to think about it in whatever matter comes up for them, right? So if you're thinking of it in that way, that's great. But also, we can redefine what pleasure means for us where we are today. Because maybe how you define pleasure in your 20s, you may define it differently in your 40s or in your 50s or 60s, right? And so I'm asking people to really think about what brings you pleasure. What's blocking you from pleasure? From having pleasure.
And when
right?
you think about pleasure, is it a feeling? Is it a state of being? Is it a thing that you go after?
Mm-hmm.
Like what's pleasure really?
Pleasure is all in your body. It's in your nervous system. Yeah. And so pleasure can be something that feels good, or it can be something that feels painful. It is sometimes pain can evoke pleasure if that is what you have aligned with. And that has been in your experience.
Oh.
And some people can lie comfortable in that pain and call it, and in their mind is pleasurable, until they get to a point. And this is the part that I'm working through, is how you rewire your nervous system, how you rewire your brain to release that no longer serves you, and reintroduce and retrain pleasure to you in a different way.
Especially when you think that what you're feeling is pleasure. When you've accepted it as pleasure, it made me think like, I'm gonna tell you a little. So I get tattoos.
Yeah.
When you said that, it's like, or if I'm in a painful experience, it's almost like a sense of pride for me to not let that pain consume me, and to feel a sense of so I don't know that we always think about we've adopted the pain, because there's a lot of people addicted to tattoos. You see people beating their chest like it's something pleasurable in the struggle.
It's pleasurable in the struggle. It's pleasurable in the pain. The drag. I mean, I got tattoos too, and when I'm there, I'm just like, why in the heck I want this tattoo with this dragon needle, and they ain't even spray me with no numbing cream, and but then after I see it, I'm like, oh, I want it again. Let's go next week. And I want it again. And it's something about that.
Like being feeling under.
Yeah. And so what is important is understanding where pleasure is in your body. Like right now, where do you feel pleasure right now? If you feel pleasure, you don't have to, but if you felt pleasure, where do you feel it in your body?
Yeah, I'm not saying that on here.
We said MA, mature only, mature adults, conversation. So if she says that, you already know what's stopping, what's throbbing. Okay, all right. We're gonna keep it clean.
So when I think about pleasure, is it like it's like where we feel a state of bliss? Because let's be honest. So we talked about what we were just saying. So if I'm not used to experiencing pleasure, and I'm more used to experiencing challenges, frustration, feelings of overwhelm, anger, right? how do I even know where pleasure sits in my body or what I should be looking for in a pleasurable experience? Because when you're saying that to me now, I'm like, are you talking about when I last was happy? Are you talking about, the place where I felt some joy or where I was laughing? Like, how do I even define that for myself?
So it's what you define for yourself. It's not how other people define it. And I think that's why people get things so twisted with pleasure, because there's so much trying to please other people versus going in. So I call myself an intimacy coach, the pleasure activist, right? And because we need to have a relationship with self, intimacy, into me, I see. So my thing is, if I'm sitting with myself, the goal is for me to understand what brings me joy. Because guess what? Happiness is fleeting. I can be happy right now, and I'm a true Aquarian, I'm very moody. The wind can blow wrong and my attitude can shift. It's not about that happiness. It's about what's in that internal joy. And I got the joy down in my heart. Okay, don't let me stop.
Wait
a minute, because I did. Wait a minute.
Whatever. It's on everybody's Instagram video.
Right. But that's the song I wore in my church. I was 8 years old with a plaid suit on in front of the whole church, and I can't sing, and I had to sing that. So when I think about joy, I remember that. Because I saw all the people just like, oh my God, she's doing it with this little plaid ugly suit on. But anyway, but that gave me joy. And the more I sung that song, I got the joy down in my heart. The more I feel it in my body.
Is that interchangeable though? The joy and pleasure? Do you use those words?
Yeah, I can, depending on my setting. Because I may not can say pleasure in a meeting. Right? So what brings me joy at work would be this. Now, I'm a little risque. I might say, well, what brings me pleasure at work is this, because guess what? It's how I define pleasure. Yeah. So again, and test this out, audience. Okay. If you ask, oh yeah, you can take the picture off. If you ask most women, what does pleasure mean? I think probably they'll talk about connection. Yeah. And all the things that means to them, togetherness, love, unconditional love, holding hands, touching, whatever. But a man, probably his first three will say sex. So let's go to the mall and just test people today. How do you define pleasure? And see what you come up with. So it all depends. So that's why I said, if we redefine what pleasure is, how can we bring pleasure into the workplace? Right? Because what that means is, am I doing something every single day that brings me joy? When I wake up, you said Monday, let's make it happen Monday, because sometimes Monday can be very difficult for us. Yeah. It's the start of the work week, it's start of everything that you have to do, start of the school week. Yeah. And so I like to ease into my mornings. I have a morning ritual. Yeah, and when it comes to pleasure, I move my body. I put on my music. You asked me what was my song. That's one of the songs. Yeah. So what song that brings me pleasure, that gives me movement? So it's all about movement in my body. It's about movement in my spirit. And I take that with me to send me out on my day. But it's about setting your intention.